This video, I'm just going to go through a few meals that have helped me from going from incredibly skinny and anorexic to quite built and muscular. And you can do the same thing if you subscribe and stick around to the end and go from skinny to muscular without going through the sort of fat phase in the middle. And the first meal that I used, which has gone through quite a transformative process that I may go through in this video, but I have gone through it in a past video, which is the 5 crucial steps that go from like skinny to jacked or whatever. I think that's the video title. You can check that out if you want after this one. But one of the meals I mentioned in there was Greek yogurt, berries, a banana, and some dried oats or bran. Now the measurements for these I used are 200 grams of Greek yogurt or more, 200 grams of berries or more, or like slightly more, one banana, and maybe like 200 grams of oats and bran. And these have to be dried. The oats and bran that we use won't be like microwaved and stuff like that. And I'll go through why I did that in a second. But the Greek yogurt that you get is quite important because you don't want to be getting the fat-free or low-fat Greek yogurt because one, these contain a lot more sugar than they probably should normally do because the fat's been extracted. It takes a lot of the taste out, and so they have to put a lot of sugar back into the food so that it like tastes somewhat normal and somewhat nice, so you can continue to buy from that company again and again and again and again. Because as I've said on this channel many times, food is more about profit for companies than actually to give us some sort of health and nutrition in our lives now, which is quite a sad reality, which I do hope to change in the very, very long-term future. But getting full fat Greek yogurt is important because fat will make your bulking journey a lot more efficient because fat contains 9 calories per gram compared to carbs and sugars and proteins, which is only 4 calories or 3.75 calories per gram. So having that like incredible like double the calories per gram is so much more efficient than like having more sugar or more carbs inside of your Greek yogurt than what you probably should normally do. And you can just ask your parents to get this Greek yogurt if they currently get like the fat-free or low-fat Greek yogurts, or just get Greek yogurt in general, add it to the shopping list, or if you have money, buy it in like the supermarket and stuff like that. You can usually get them in the big like 1 kilogram tubs, which should probably last you maybe like a week. And if you just get like this along with other foods, maybe in like a food delivery once a week, or you go to the shop once a week and get these foods, it will be so beneficial to your own kind of self-esteem because you feel like you're providing for your own diet and your own food, and that will probably be beneficial for your mental health in the long-term future as well. So that's just another benefit of buying your own food and stuff like that or whatever. But there's also 200 grams of Greek yogurt, which we've just discussed, 200 grams of berries. Now berries can be from anything from like red currants, raspberries, blackberries, blackcurrants, strawberries, stuff like that. Now, I personally get the frozen versions of these, or my parents get the frozen versions of these, and you can put them in the microwave, which may take away some of the nutrients, but fresh fruit and stuff is obviously it's a lot more expensive to buy, and it ferments quite quickly. So you may like buy a tub of raspberries or a tub of grapes or red currants, black currants or whatever, and by the time you've kind of gone through them all in your like a bowl of this kind of concoction which I've created, it may have gone like unripe and it may have gone out of date and stuff like that. So that's probably why my parents get that kind of frozen fruit, because if you put it in the microwave, it ends up tasting just the same, and hopefully it does contain the same nutritional value. If it doesn't, then please tell me in the comments if microwaving frozen fruit before you kind of put the rest of the ingredients in is going to take away from the nutritional value, because that's not something I've done any research on. It's just something that I do. But putting fruit and berries in your bowl in general will like increase your vitamin content, your nutrition content, and allow you to build muscle a lot more easier. It will allow you to build muscle a lot more easier. It will allow you to bulk a lot more easier because fruit still contains a lot of calories, but it will also keep you healthy and lean and fit, and just allow your body to kind of proportionately grow. Now the banana, it's a banana. You just get them from the shop. Ask your parents to get them on the shopping list, or buy them yourself in like a pack of 7 once a week or something. And do the same thing with the Greek yogurt, basically. There isn't any low-fat versions of bananas or anything like that, so maybe just get the biggest ones that you can that are sort of similar price to ones that may be smaller. That's about the best advice I can give you. Now, dried oats and bran, about 200 grams of these. Just once you've microwaved the berries, or you've put fresh berries in, put your Greek yogurt in, put your banana in, you just sprinkle these on top, and dried oats and bran is said to actually help digestion more than porridge oats and stuff like that, because a lot of the fiber is still in its kind of raw natural form, which is good for digestion and stuff like that. and bran is something that's very high in fiber, but the fiber in bran is actually quite inefficient. So the fiber in oats is something that will be very useful to you as well. You can maybe mix and match and do like 100 grams of both if that's something that's available to you, but maybe try to get the oats and the bran that's got the least amount of kind of added sugar content. If you look on the back of the cereal packaging, like the cardboard box and stuff like that, if you look at the like ingredients that are usually on the back that kind of have to be put there just for FDA regulations and stuff like that, just buy the one that's probably got the least amount of sugar and the highest amount of actual starch and actual fiber and stuff like that, because you don't want to be kind of scammed by these food companies into thinking that you're buying normal healthy foods, but it's actually got a lot of added sugar and stuff like that. Now that's the first meal that has personally helped me on my bulking journey, but it's transformed quite a lot over the years. And initially it was just some porridge with peanut butter, and even like way further back before that, it used to be some Weetabix with like a teaspoon of sugar on it, which obviously I really don't recommend you doing that. But the porridge oats and peanut butter with plus some like milk and stuff, that's going to still be beneficial to you in your bulking journey, because peanut butter is something that contains low carbs but a lot of protein, which will help build muscle, and a lot of fat, which will just help increase your calorific intake in general. Plus the oats, which are obviously improve digestion, improve your health, but carbs are so important because when it comes to bulking, it will increase your water weight, which will need to be increased whilst you're bulking because your body will proportionally get bigger and stuff like that. And that's kind of like the meal before the porridge, before this kind of Greek yogurt concoction that I kind of came up with and made up. And you can use that if you're sort of not ready to do the Greek yogurt meal that I made up. But if you do want to use the Greek yogurt meal, then that's perfectly fine. You can use either. Just do what you want. Maybe instead of using like 200 grams of oats and stuff, you do maybe 500 grams of oats, like 200 milliliters of milk, and a tablespoon of peanut butter. That can be your measurements if that's what you want to use. Now, the third meal kind of that I have like invented, not really invented, but used on my bulking journey is some toast. Not toast, eggs on toast. Eggs and avocado on toast. And I used to have some fried eggs, but I actually switched to having these microwaved poached eggs, or just poached eggs in general sometimes. And that can be like really beneficial to you because frying food in general is quite unhealthy for you, and I did a video on that. But the fact is, when you fry foods, it releases trans fats, like the polyunsaturated fats inside of the food itself that you're frying will turn into trans fats, but also the polyunsaturated oils that you're using, the oils such as your olive oil, your sunflower oil, contain polyunsaturated fats, will when it comes into contact with the heat of the pan and stuff, will get hydrogenated into trans fats, which could like stick onto your food. And frying also creates free radicals, which will also affect your health. But if health isn't your biggest concern when it comes to bulking, then go with fried eggs, because seemingly you almost get more egg when you fry eggs compared to when you poached eggs. And there's probably some sort of psychological scientific process for that, but you can do your research on that. But I found that the poached eggs, they're quite nice. They're nice for me. I have two poached eggs plus a whole avocado, and that's just like on one piece of toast, and that's like a nice breakfast that contains a lot of fat but also a lot of protein, as well as like a basic minimal amount of carbs. And if you want, you can maybe add some peanut butter on toast as like a separate thing if you really want to start eating a lot more food than what you used to, just to like bulk up and increase your calories, increase your fat intake, increase your protein intake to gain more weight and gain more muscle. And the fourth tip slash meal is to drink a lot more water. Most people don't drink enough water. I have a water bottle that's I think about 1.5 to 2 liters, and it's what this phone, my camera, is currently resting on, and it's like massive. I try to go through at least 2 of those a day, and you probably, if like the majority of people might not even go through 1 of these in their daily life, but I try to go through 2 because drinking more water will mean that your body can kind of adapt and adjust to the fact that you're growing, and it can take in more. You need to take in more water for the more you bulk, the more water you'll need to take in, and if you don't take in enough water, you probably just won't bulk as quickly as you probably expected. Water can be a fantastic way to help you gain weight and help you just digest food in general, as well as just keeping you hydrated and healthy. So they're like the 3 and /4 if you count water as a meal, the things that I've used to help me on my bulking journey. And if you found value out of these meals, you found value out of this video, I recommend subscribing, because I love this community of young tribal people who are willing to improve themselves so much more than they already have. So good luck.